So my name is Ian Ginn and I'm the host of Digital Talk. For regular listeners, you will know we were partners at the ITU AI for Good Summit earlier this year. My guest today is Dr. Manpreet Kaur, otherwise known as MP, Director of Strategy and Product at SidLabs Online LLP, who was shortlisted for award at this conference. On Digital Talk, we spotlight entrepreneurs, leaders, and innovators using digital tech and telecoms to drive global impact in a changing world. Uncovering the unexpected, spotlighting hidden gems, and sharing inspiring stories that shine a light on the most transformative corners of our industry. Welcome to the podcast, MP.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ian. It's my great pleasure to be here. Thank you very much.
And the thing is, which the audience won't know, is you actually also have hosted a podcast yourself in the past. So we have a professional here, so no pressure.
I think we're going to have a lovely conversation. Thank you.
So do you mind introducing yourself and the organization you represent?
Sure, that would be wonderful. Well, I'm Dr. Manpreet Kaur. I'm the Director of Strategy and Product at SidLabs Online LLP. My full-time journey actually with SidLabs started after the acquisition of two of my ventures that at the time I was handling. And I had founded them and I was working around. But then somewhere I come from a background as a developmental psychologist. So I practiced for more than a decade, and then I switched to the tech side of the world. Approximately 2.5 years ago is when my full-time journey started with SidLabs. What SidLabs does, in case anybody's interested, SidLabs is actually a tech partner to VCs, to founders, to impact leaders, to help them in a way that they can focus on their own vision and impact instead of having to work around with the latest technologies and the updates, complexity within the system. So there are various ways to engage with us. So that's basically what SidLabs does. And we were recently awarded at ITU's AI for Good Summit at Geneva. And for two of our products that we created, one for Amazon Peru and the other one for Switzerland. So it was one for lawyers and one for the planet, the Amazon forest. So yeah, in a nutshell, that is going on at the moment with us.
Yes, the thing, I think, as you say, 2 awards, well, I think that's impressive for a start. Given that this podcast is focused a bit more on the telecom sector, I think we'd discussed that the one in the Amazon Peru was more, let's say, relevant because it also involves some communication aspects in particular. So do you want to explain a bit more about that project in particular and what it's about?
Sure, would love to. The project actually started with the desire of our partner to create a tool which could help them connect with the locals ASAP. So given the demography, it has been really challenging for the government, private sector, as well as the NGOs in the area to be able to get to know the ground realities. So by the time, they get to know, they used to get to know about the damage or the crime against the environment in that area, there used to be a delay of approximately 30 days, which with the tool that we created for our partners together, we have been able to reduce that time into a real-time SOS system where the citizens who are dwelling in those areas can receive SOS as soon as there is a report of some damage happening. And also that the citizens can report such things happening with the same mobile. So the SOS system works with their mobile. So they receive those updates right there. So in case there is a fire, forest fire, or any kind of an issue that might be going on in their surroundings, they receive an SOS. So within the pilot program, when when before we handed over the whole project. Within the pilot program, we received that within a minute they could find that there were poachers for certain areas, and they could report. So the people in the field reported, and the people were and citizens were informed. The authorities were informed, and that could be saved within a minute because of this presence of this tool now.
Today's episode is sponsored by IFG Consulting Europe, who help operators to tap into technologies to accelerate digitization of the network, drive revenues, and reduce costs by championing promising software providers. Go to ifgconsultingeurope.com to find out more.
So you've got crowdsourcing of the public, if you like, or the community, but you also mentioned the government also plays a role. So it was across society, if you like, between both parties.
Yes, so it's the decentralization of the whole power, including one of the major. I would just mention that one of the major things that I really loved about this particular product and the project as a whole was the inclusion of news and the media. So where the data is collated from across the field. So no matter which news coverage or which media agency might be covering any particular news, that alerts the system, and the system real time engages the data and delivers the SOS report to all the across the strata and the
Stakeholders, maybe. Yeah, stakeholders. Okay, so actually it could be OC, so it could also be from a sort of news source or something like that, which also applies it. You mentioned about poaching. I was watching one of your videos because we're now, of course, recording after the event, and it talked about logging as well. Is
Yes.
that
Yes, that as well.
okay? So, is there a future to this project, or is that now done and dusted, and they're using it happily, and or are you going to continue supporting and developing it?
Support is continued. What we are trying to focus on now is to gather as much data so that we can fine tune the model as and when required. So more or less, it is deployed. It's in its place, and wherever the support is required is where we are right now.
And do you see it as also, usable in other parts of the world? I mean, that's a specific use case, but to me, it sounds like you're actually addressing something that other groups, communities could also do with.
Yes. So we did pitch this kind of an idea, not the whole, because this is a very specific problem that came to us, and we want to ensure that there is no duplicacy. So we did propose something like this to the Indian government, actually the military system, and we have been able to get through certain areas with respect to. So obviously, I cannot share much of the details at the moment. However, yes, there is use case that we are engaging with within the Indian military system to be able to give real time alerts as and when required.
Fantastic. How do you, I've just do this is a question of curiosity on my side. How do you focus it? What I mean is, not everyone wants to know everything. So how do you know that it's relevant for a particular person? Do you have a geolocation capability as well to say this message should
Yes.
go to? Okay.
So we are leveraging data from. I am not really sure if I can really share those details, but we have the authentic real data, which is shared by. So basically, satellite data. Let me say without taking any names. We have the satellite data of the locations, as well as we have data from the public data to be able to engage accordingly. And the alerts are very regional in nature. So I think that's where the telecommunication part really comes out in this particular product, where the involvement of telecommunication companies comes into picture to share their data and help us engage with the audience, with the citizens directly based on those particular locations or the area. So even if, let's say, somebody has moved from one location to another, we have the real time data. So if they are at least, let's say 100 or 500 kilometers away from where they are, we have the real-time data. Like this tool has the real-time, not us. This tool has the real-time data, which is encrypted, and that data is working real time.
I think you'll be interested to know there's a podcast hopefully going to be recorded in the next few weeks. So you'll have to tune in again, which also deals with using satellites to beam, if you like, and broadcast warnings to people as well. So that's fascinating, this collation of between various projects in there. If we come back to the AI for Good Summit itself, what was it that took you there, and did you enjoy it, and what did you get from it?
So it has two parts, this question for me. One was personal, and one definitely because we two of our products got selected in the final, and we are runner-up for both of them. So it was extremely exciting for us as a startup that the work that we are doing is ethical, that the AI, the systems that we are producing, now we can say it's systems because both of them fit into the framework that way. So they are ethical in nature, they are responsible, the products are sustainable, and they are scalable as well. So that's one thing which usually in the impact sector we struggle with, to be able to scale something. While pilot usually is amazing, but when it comes to running the full-fledged products or projects, it becomes quite tricky. And that's where I think the power of AI is, where we have been able to create such products which can be relied upon. Now, that was one of the, so as the director of strategy, it was a great opportunity for me to be able to represent that. And on a personal level, as a developmental psychologist, I've worked in the development sector for a long time. So almost more than a decade. So for me, that is the things that we have been listening about from the other side of the world, which is the non-tech. Now, this time, getting an opportunity to be amongst the people who are leading the tech world. So what is it like? What's the reality like from the tech side of the world? Internationally, that was really exciting for me.
Fantastic. No, it was good. Well, as you say, you wouldn't be on this podcast either if you most likely had not been there. And what's the AI angle that you have then? You said, sticking with the project, particularly in Peru, how did you use AI there?
Instead of anything being handled manually, whether it's the data. So when it comes to AI, it's more of the machine learning model that we have. And we also use natural language processing to be able to engage with the English or any regional language and the machine interface. So that's where the AI comes into picture to be able to, in a nutshell, we are calling it AI. It's machine learning and NLP that we are actively engaging in. To be able to collate the data, summarize, and impromptu give the results so that things don't go wrong, or actually the tool gets to its function. That's where the whole AI comes into picture.
So great project, and thank you for sharing that with us. So other than the work you're doing now yourself, what sort of pressing topic do you feel we as humanity should be focusing on or is trying to solve?
Oh, thank you so much for asking this question, Ian. I've been waiting for this particular, like the passionate person I am with respect to, the society and the development of children.
You've got a long list.
So that was one of the reasons for me, one of the actually major reasons for me to move from being a non-tech healthcare professional to the tech side, which been focusing on product development, and then eventually moving to AI product development and design. The major pressing problem, I think, is to be able to evaluate, find out the kind of tools that kids are using. That's something where at the moment there are no frameworks, there are no tools which are researched not only from the academic angle or from the childcare angle, but also includes the design and the tech development side. So for me, that research had started long time ago in 2011. And that's something I think this is a pressing problem where we are talking about kids' addiction to social media, kids' addiction to videos, kids' engagement, and the implications of using such tools where social media is just one of the factors, even for that matter, YouTube, where a kid maybe just watching a child is just watching a video. What kind of video is it? Uh, what kind of an impact it could have? What kind of designs are there in the system which could either elevate the development of the child, especially the cognitive and socio-emotional development, as well as the uh, aspects where there are hidden agendas within those systems that are directed towards children, because there is no authority uh, evaluating or assessing or monitoring. Whatever they say is taken as it is. So that's something that I find extremely hot topic.
I think a very interesting topic, and it brings me nicely on to one of the other questions we had. Is given that it was mentioned at the AI Summit around generation, I think it's called Alpha now, born between 2010 and 2014, basically born into an AI world. So, what budding entrepreneur, young person what advice would you have for them in this world of AI?
Well, I would request them to get their hands dirty in the world, understand the world, and specifically focus on gaining domain knowledge of whatever they want to do, whatever they think the solution to a problem is. I think it's important to get to know more about the problem, the impact of the problem, what other measures can be taken before venturing into building something. Uh, if we can take, if they can take that time, I think it would enrich not only the lives financially or with respect to their image in the public, but it would actually bring more gravity, grit, and resilience to their own personality as they grow. That's something that I think would be, yeah.
Yeah, good. I think also like maybe I've misinterpreted, but I thought critical thinking was also, I think, when you said get hands dirty, I was thinking of not just assuming, as you were saying, that things are the way they are, but also to understand why they're the way they are, or are they the way that they suggest they are, which I think in today's world is going to get more and more challenging. What's real, what's fact, etc., is becoming a lot more murky in the world that we live in. At least the way it's presented. I'm not saying it is. If you see what I mean, but that's one of the things. So also we like the UN sustainability goals is something we like to measure against. So are there any particular companies who are doing good work in that area that you want to mention, and in what way do you admire their work?
As a tech, right at the moment, as a tech partner, I think I really look up to Amazon and companies like Microsoft, which are offering much more resources free of cost to impact organizations, so that people like us uh, can really support uh, and engage in the good work, solving the real world problems. Because of, like, for example, there are free credits Amazon provides to their cloud services to the NGOs. Now, that's where I think for us, it really helps, so that like wherever or whichever area that we are engaging in, either it is education, the quality education. Like one of the projects that we are currently doing is AI powered edtech. There's another one that we are doing, which actually is done and it's live, which is Care AI, which provides a framework which we based on the research that I have done, and it was submitted to as a policy brief to American Psychological Association. So, including that, we have developed an AI-powered tool to help parents, designers, caregivers, even developers to assess their tools based on that framework. So, things like that, I think, are much more doable for us when organizations like Amazon and Microsoft, they are really providing those services to the people, who are really making the impact in the society. And that's where this whole, and we are kind of like, helping bridge the gap.
Fantastic. That's a great one. And that brings me on to one of the things I also enjoy about the podcast, which is doing positive ourselves, is to give you the opportunity to give a shout out to someone or an organization that you think is doing good and worthy of a shout out.
Thank you. I admire the founder of SID Labs, so Sid. He's usually known as Sid. He has what I see is he has really shown what leadership is like. Is his visionary approach and the way he deals with clients. So I would really give a shout out to SidLabs founder Sid for setting a benchmark and the standards to engage and make lasting relationships with our partners and clients. That's something that I really admire and really look forward to making sure that SidLabs continues the legacy that he has left us with. So he's moved out of the venture, and we and our team are handling it. So I think it's exciting, challenging, and a bit scary as well.
Well, you're now part of the Digital Talk community, so thank you for being our guest.
Thank you so much, Ian. Thank you so much. It's my great pleasure to be a part of the community, and especially a person who has moved from non-tech to the tech world. So as a woman in tech, I think it makes a huge difference in my life to be a part of such a community. So thank you so much for offering such a great platform to me as well. Thank you.
You're more than welcome, and I really enjoyed our conversation. If you've enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to rate us and subscribe, and feel free to follow us on LinkedIn. And if you have comments or ideas for future episodes, please send us an email. Thanks for being part of the Digital Talk community and for listening. Stay tuned.